Welcome back to Daybreak. Now it's time to keep you up to speed too with the happenings on our national dailies. And we're going to start with the Daily Trust. Boldly written is Kanu gets life imprisonment after 10-year trial. It's all right at the front page and continued on pages 3 and 4 of the Daily Trust. Despite capacity of 13,625 megawatts, only 3,781 megawatts of electricity gets to consumers. This is right in page 23. Schoolgirls abduction, President asks Defense Minister to relocate to Kebbi. This is right in page 19 of the Daily Trust. Jonathan's concession in 2015 threatened Nigeria's democracy, says Tinubu. This is right in page 13. ACF at 25. Leaders demand solution to insecurity. This is right in page 32 of Daily Trust. Health workers strike increases patronage of private hospitals. This is right in page 7. Violence in Nigeria affects Christians and Muslims, says Pope. This is right in page 8. And right below the front page of Daily Trust is insecurity. Over 50 schools shot in Kwara. You can find this right in page 6 of the Daily Trust. And that is it in Daily Trust this morning.
All right, next up we have the Guardian newspaper. Right in front we have yours. Lawmakers question Nigeria's will capacity to curb violence. All right here in the studio with us is...
Right here in the studio is Salihu Mahmoud, a public affairs analyst, to help us analyze the headlines on our national dailies this morning. Good morning and welcome to the break.
Good morning to you all and good morning to Nigerians.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is what we've talked about it in the phone in and discussion, and now we're going to ask you to Kanu gets life imprisonment after 10-year trial. What is your take on this headline this morning?
Well, it was a judicial pronouncement done when and how it ought to be done, because we are talking about terrorism. Don't forget, after his incitement, a lot of dissident or non-government and IPOB members from the southeast took arms, started killing certain people, even made sit-at-home order and what have you, including members of the armed forces and police, including a former national legal advisor for the opposition party, Mr. Gulak, a lawyer who was killed in Owerri. And if you take example from Rwanda, most of the people that were later found culpable incited from broadcast stations, both television and radio, including publications and newspaper. So when you incite and you bear harm, they are the same, because particularly when you have influence. So no matter what anyone will say, that judgment of Justice Omotosho once again redefined Nigerian judiciary as one that goes by tenets of the rule of law, where no one is above the law, no matter how he is being supported by some disgruntled and undesirable elements. Because when you rebel against the state, it's treasonable felony. And if you look at the sentences for every life sentence, it's from 1, 2, 3, 4. Even though the prosecution counsel, the prosecutor had wanted a kind of dealt penalty, but the judge frowned upon it because it's not in tandem with global judicial practices. So I think once again, they've made us proud in the judiciary, and I hope this is going to be upheld by the appellate court. And if they want it to linger up to the apex court, then let the juries there, the benchers at both the appellate and the apex court, uphold the pronouncement of Justice Omotosho. So no matter what anyone would say, national security exceeds individual interests, particularly if it is based on self-centered interests, because people that were conveying tomatoes, cattle, and other products to the southeast, then as a result of the incitement of Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa, lost their lives in some southeastern states, including members of the armed forces. We knew how most of them were ambushed, how vehicles at checking points were burnt, how people were slaughtered like chicken and also other things. So if people are now saying it has political overturn or what have you, are we saying that the deceased are not people that after their demise as a result of the activities of non-government should not be protected and defended as well. So I think this judicial pronouncement has made them to rest in peace, and may the soul of the departed rest in Al-Jannah.
All right. Now let's look at this headline. Schoolgirl's abduction, President asked Defense Minister to relocate to Kebbi. What is your take on that?
You see, once there is negligence and non-usage of certain procured weapons, this is what you see. Under Buhari administration, they procured two Kanus. Where are the two Kanus now? They are lying down somewhere. They are saying American usage law and what have you. You know, it was done government to government. The Alpha jets the Air Force can dispatch can only stand less than 1 hour at battlefield. Then again, most of the sophistication that is expected to be used from the DSS, DMI, DIA, DNI, CID, and whatever are not used. Where you only find these experienced intelligence officers, maybe government house, presidential villa with some VIPs and whatever. If you go to these ungoverned areas where this is happening, nothing like that. We've for some time advocated for establishment of permanent security structures like Mopol Squadron, Counterterrorism Squadron, cantonments of the Land Army, Air Force Base, and what have you. A lot of these places where these non-state actors are having field, they are ungoverned. So relocation is not the solution. By and large, in Sokoto there, what is the proximity to Benin Kebbi? You have full-fledged 8th Division of the Nigerian Army, manned by a Major General with officers and men. So during General C.G. Musa's time as Chief of Defense Staff, there was a relocation order by President and Commander-in-Chief Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu that Mutawale, Minister of State, as well as Chief of Defense Staff, then should relocate. At the end of the day, there were contradictions regarding the killing of Bello Turji that we have killed him, and later he resurfaced. So it is not the relocation that matters. What matters, it is sustainability. What is the sustainability? Outside Operation Fansan Yamma, most of these already existing police structures, military structures that are there, let them be properly equipped. If the edifices are not up to date, let them be rebuilt. Because once you have existence and presence of permanent security structures with general duty officers, intelligence officers, these things wouldn't be. Sometimes when these Lakurawa or Bello Turiji boys are moving, we get information because some people that are inhabitants of these areas discharge their ownership involvement information. Like the time they were moving from Auna, Ibeto areas, some people gave us the privileged information which we alerted the security agent, but sometimes lacking permanent security structures make them to have a field day and wreak havoc on innocent citizens.
All right. Now, despite capacity of 13,625 megawatts, only 3,781 megawatts of electricity gets to consumers. What can you say about this headline?
It's corruption in the electricity industry, even though government is no longer in charge, because the discos, the what have you now are in hands of private people. The issues are Transmission Company of Nigeria is not doing enough. Electricity Regulation Commission not doing enough as well, because these marketers are after making profits. If you check Abuja here, that we have AEDC, there are certain parts of Abuja where even though they are on band A and band B, they don't get light. And at the end of the day, the AEDC commercial officers comes to take money from them. A lot of homes are not even connected to the meters. It's still this manual payment and what have you. So I think that area, they need to review the licenses they give to these electricity distributors. If you are found wanting, if you are not living up to expectation, your license should be seized. Same thing that is practiced in the petroleum industry should extend to electricity industry. Anyway, you cannot conclude because some of the high and mighty untouchables are owners of these electricity distribution companies and what have you. And you know, the generating companies differs from the discos. So the generating companies gives to the discos. So the 40 line lies between the generating companies as well as the discos. Not long ago, Mr. President, alongside Power Minister and some standing committees of Senate and House of Rep, they held meeting with generating companies. I don't know what the outcome was, but till now, I think the improvement is just 40% to 100%.
All right, thank you very much, Sailuhu Mahmood, Public Affairs Analyst, for helping us unpack and review the front pages of our national dailies this morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Now with that, we've come to the end of Daybreak right here on Trust TV. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. so you don't miss out on something light, which is Daybreak Extra right here on Trust TV. I am Hawa Adamikiawa. Thank you for watching. And I am Maria Medris. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms for more news, more documentaries, and more programs like this. Have a nice day ahead.